What's up, love bugs? Oh, I'm gonna let you get to that one in a minute, though. It's your man Rodney Gillette, your president and CEO of the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce, and we are celebrating National Black Business Month. COSBlackChamber.com is the place. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. And today, I don't want to waste any time getting to this amazing leader in our community. We have Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's motivator. Mimi, how you doing, my sister? How you doing? How you doing?
Good, feeling great.
Yeah?
Feeling good. Yes.
That's good, man. It's good to see you. And I hear that you had a birthday recently.
I did. I just
So
took another trip around the sun, as they say.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Mimi. Yeah, we'll make sure everybody sees that. So you do so much. And this space that we're in right now is no stranger to you. I mean, you're all about getting your message out and making sure people understand how to better themselves, not only in business, but in their personal lives. I have personally been inspired by your work. Proud to call you friend. Oh, we got another one of my board members in the mix. I'm going to bring Kimberly Gold in the house.
Hey.
Kimberly Gold. What's up, Kimberly Gold? Hey, girl.
Hi, Mimi the Motivator.
Hey, good, man. We're just getting started, Kim. I just introduced myself. Let you introduce yourself. Kimberly Gold, and you are...
I am here. No, you know what? I was just expecting to listen in the shadows.
Oh, yeah? Okay, right on. Well, you've been pulled in. I can't take you out now. It's already live. So, yeah, welcome. We in here now. Yeah, we're all the way live. All the way. Hashtag.
Well, I am not prepared, but now I'm here.
Outstanding. Well, we have Mimi here. We're going to be all about her today. So, Mimi, tell me about this enterprise that you're running. What is Get High on Motivation? What is it?
All right. So Get High on Motivation, first and foremost, started as a podcast about exactly 5 years ago. We kicked off the first episode. So season 1 started August 22nd, 5 years ago. And it is a show that we like to think gets your mind, body, spirit, and your finances right. So it's the whole thing. I see people as a whole person. I was a business consultant for 15 years before I figured out I can no longer just call myself a business consultant, because I'm all up in your personal stuff. I'm all up in your energy system and all that kind of thing. And doing my best at that time, trying to explain to people like how what's going on here is what's affecting the profit line. It's not the bugs crawling on the floor.
Okay, so can you give us a little bit of your background and how you got started in this industry?
All right, so I've been an entrepreneur my entire life since I was 7 years old, but I've always had a knack for business. I've always had a knack for marketing. I ran my first successful marketing campaign when I was 20 years old in college. I was the go-to person in Jackson, Tennessee for any type of promotions that you wanted to be successful. You came to me, even though I was a kid.
Sure.
And so that only just continued to grow. And I've always been a teacher as well. So I've always wore many hats, and I've never stopped doing that, except for now my hat, I can probably condense it down to more of a double stacked hat, because I was always told, oh, you have to do one thing. You got to choose one thing to do. I remember a teacher telling me, you have to be known for one thing. What is it going to be? You can't be doing all of this stuff. You can't be known as a healer. You can't be known as a business consultant. You can't be known as somebody that teaches classes and And I'm like, yes, I can. But what I decided with that question is that I'm a resource. My friends call me the walking Wikipedia or the worm on the book. So basically that equates to me being a resource. So like my show is a resource. My annual event is a resource. My classes are a resource. My online school, Evolving University, is a resource. And it's a resource that is not just for business, but all the things that actually affect your business, which is your health, which is your mindset, which is your habits. And so now I just integrated all those things. So my company, the Feel Rich Group, we pretty much live at the corner or the intersection of strategic planning, leadership development, and lifestyle management.
Wow, that's impressive. And so how long have you been in business?
So the Feel Rich Company is what we started as is in October 2006. So, what's that, 16 years almost?
Wow.
Is
Wow.
how long I've been a business consultant, and whether it was building websites, designing your marketing materials. Back then it was Facebook and Twitter. I would set up your accounts and manage them for you. And it just kept going from there. The more I learned is the more I was able to do for my clients.
So what motivated you to start your own business?
I think my personality, my mindset, the way I view business, the way I do things. Like I said, I started my first business at 7. I would design coupons. I would iron 2 things for $1, and I knew exactly who to give my coupons to. By the time I was 13, I was selling jumbo jawbreakers at school until I learned what solicitation was, and there was no solicitation, or I was no longer going to be at school. And I was like, okay, well, I won't do that anymore. By the time I was 16, I was walking in the bank with a business plan and got my first business loan to start a printing company. I wrote for the newsletter. I was the editor for the newsletter. I sold advertisement space for the newsletter. Then I printed it and went out and sold it back to those same businesses that bought the advertising space. So like I cut checks with some other teenagers. I gave them all like $500-$600, and then I learned about dissolving a business and did that. But so I've always been in business. I've never not been an entrepreneur. So I don't even really know what it looks like to be somebody's employee.
That's a blessing, to be honest with you.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, for all the rest of you out there, there's nothing wrong with you figuring out how to make your own money. Go ahead and do that. That's good. So can you give me a brief overview of your business and the products and services that you offer?
Okay. So the main thing that we focus on is training, providing trainings for social impact organizations. You have to have a double profit line to even qualify for us to hire you as a client, because you can't hire us. You know, we are very selective in who we work with and who we work for, or however you want to look at that. But we provide some of that standard strategic planning retreats and whatnot, but they are not boring. They are not stiff. You will not be sitting there thinking, why am I here? Or this could have been sent in an email. You know, we've all been there, where we'd rather be on our phone scrolling social media than paying attention to the person at the front of the room. So I've made it my business to make sure that trainings are engaging and entertaining, because you're definitely going to laugh along the way. I can't help that part. I don't do it on purpose, but apparently I'm funny. And they're empowering. I start everything with breath. So I incorporate all of who I am. I incorporate my yoga instructor or my yoga training, because I am a certified yoga teacher. I incorporate breath work. I incorporate just all of what I know into what I do. You know, it's kind of like the hokey pokey. I put my whole self in and shake it all about. And so that's what I do. That's what I bring when I come to the room. So you're going to be able to talk about some tough things, but in such an easy way that it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I've learned how to eliminate the elephant in the room, identify and then eliminate it. You know, I've recognized how to see what the real blocks are in a business, down to the actual people who are involved in the business. Because typically it's subconscious blocks. Either you might know what's really going on, but typically it's a lot that you don't know that's happening, that's manifesting in your workspace. So my assessments aren't your typical assessments. When I come into a space, I'm going to give you a chakra test, and I'm going to do a life wheel. So that way I can see where you are in 10 different areas of your life, because they're all connected. They all are going to impact each part. You know, it's kind of like looking at a table, because typically you're like a table with one leg. You're one person. There aren't any other legs. And most people spend their time trying to go over here, run over here, but that always makes for a topsy-turvy type of table situation. So I teach people how to be centered, how to be grounded, and to operate from that space, because that's what's going to increase the numbers. That's what's going to increase all the metrics. But we don't have to talk about metrics. So what I'm doing is increasing metrics without even discussing numbers, because I'm going to discuss the people. Forget the numbers. Let's focus on the individuals that are creating the big picture that is your organization. Looking at the chakra system of your organization, with the root chakra being, does everybody know what the vision of this organization is, and are they in alignment with it? Because if that's not there, that's where the rest of the problems are going to lie. that's when you can't grow your member-based organization. I'm a pro at growing member-based organizations. And it's not focusing on the numbers. It's not focused on the goals of let's grow it by this percentage or let's get this many new members. No, it's about providing an experience for your current members so good that they're going to go out and tell everybody about this organization that they are a member of. So now you got people flooding in. I grew an organization by 86% in less than a year. So I know that I can do that anywhere. But it's only for the organizations that are willing to have some tough conversations or to have some different type of conversations, because I'm approaching this completely different than probably what they have ever experienced.
Interesting. So we've got another host on the line, Kimberly
Okay.
Gold. She's with the Gold Standard, quite a gold standard indeed. And we're proud to have her as a member of the Black Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. So Kimberly, I know you have some questions. Please chime in.
I do have questions. And I just first want to say that I knew Mimi the Motivator was different the first time I laid eyes on her. And I don't even remember the event. I have no recollection of what the event was.
Was she wearing a cool ass hat though?
Probably.
Yeah, she was.
Glasses were on fire, that's for sure. Always on fire. And we sat down. The event ended, and I think we were sitting at that table and we were talking for like 30, 45 minutes, and we were just like synced and vibing. And I was like, this is one powerful, phenomenal woman. And hi, Lynette. And then to, all of my interactions with her, I was just really like, wow, just no words. Wow. Right. And I always have words. But when we actually had a one-on-one and we got to know each other better, there was two things that really struck me. One, when I'm all about the calendar invite. So I'm like, hey, do you have a calendar I can go to book some time? And she was like, boom, here you go. So I make the appointment according to my calendar. And as soon as I make the appointment, there was this video that popped up of Mimi the Motivator. And, I cannot remember what she said, but I remember how it made me feel. I felt seen. I felt valued. I felt like this session that I had just booked with Mimi was already going to be phenomenal based off of this very short clip. And I said, wow, that really set her apart for me. And then when we started our phone call, our conference call, she said, okay, we're going to just pause and we're going to take some grounding breaths. And, we're all booked and busy. So, and I just remember like this feeling of like just letting go of the day and being able to be very intentional and focused with Mimi. And I was like, I'm in love. I'm obsessed. So I really just want to say that because I believe in giving people their flowers when they have the ability to receive them. We should not wait until somebody's gone or far away or, it's too late. So I really want you to have your flowers now. Now, one of the things that I love that you do is you incorporate all of who you are into your business. So I'm really curious about what is your business? What is the product lines and service lines that you offer? How can we benefit from you?
Okay, so we offer training, we offer private coaching and group coaching for organizations. We also have a focus on multi-passionate entrepreneurs, helping you package all of who you are, like kind of what I've had to do for myself, and be able to place where it's not confusing. So the last thing that we do is we provide events, like we have our annual event, Get High on Motivation Live. We're having our 4th annual event on September 23rd. And we bring in speakers. It's a free event to the public because typically the people who need that leadership development, personal, professional development, either one, can't afford it, or two, they don't really know that they need it yet. So it's my job, I think, to get them in the building, because I remember needing that. I remember not being able to afford to pay for the type of message, the type of encouragement, the type of tools and resources that I knew that I needed, but I couldn't access that. Or being here in Colorado Springs, there wasn't a space where I felt psychologically safe. So I was like, I got to do something about this. I can't keep on waiting for somebody else to do what I'm looking for. I figured out the person that I was waiting for was the lady looking at me in the mirror. So I had to make it happen. So I provide a multitude of events. So we just had a retreat. We just had our self-care Sunday where we taught women 7 different modalities to heal themselves. So it was me plus 5 other practitioners, and we have a weekend retreat coming up in October. So I provide different type of experiences, transformative experiences, whether it's for a group of people or for an individual person, so that way they can be their best selves. Because you know what you know, and you know there's some things that you don't know, but there's so much that you don't know that you don't know, and I've made it my business to learn that stuff.
That's right. And I definitely feel that you have a hunger for giving, you have a hunger for impact, and you have a hunger for learning. And I think that, makes you such a resource to anyone that you cross paths with. I'm really interested in this weekend retreat. Can you give us a little tidbit on some of these modalities?
Yes. So some of the practitioners that we have on deck are, one, we have a microdosing coach that I have coached. So I also train coaches. I have an online school called Evolving University. We have a multitude of courses there, whether it's learning how to speak with confidence or heal your root chakra. We got you covered. But we have a microdosing coach that will teach you how to do mindful microdosing, so that way you can unlock your best self, and so that way you can deal better with anxiety, so you can focus better. So it's not about like going on a trip, but it's more about taking taking what Mother Earth has right here in medicinal type of way. So she teaches you that kind of thing, and you'll actually get to experience some of that. We have a sound and beauty healer who will play sound bowls, crystal sound bowls, chimes, the big gong. She plays a multitude of instruments to take you on a sound healing journey, to heal all of your cells on a cellular level, is what she would tell us, on a cellular level. So she's healing you from skin, from your skin to within. Then we have a practitioner by the name of Leah Flores, which some people know as a boudoir photographer. But what a lot of people don't know is the healing experience that she takes a woman through before she even gets to the photo session. So she works with women on unlocking their real inner beauty, talking to their little person, their little girl self or little boy self or little person self. So we also have a practitioner who uses herbs. So she teaches our attendees how to use what they have in their kitchen and turn their kitchen into like a laboratory and turn their bathroom into a spa experience.
Wow.
Let me see. I am missing somebody. Oh, and then we have a Reiki practitioner. So there's 3 of us that practice Reiki, but we have one young lady that is her full focus, and we just back her up because both myself and our sound and beauty healer, Siobhan Kirby, are both also Reiki practitioners. Like I said, I kind of got a little bit of everything in the healing world and in the business world, and I just incorporate it all. So like in a private coaching session with me, we start with breath, of course. But depending on what your particular, I'm going to give you a mind, body, spirit prescription for what's going on. So for example, if you're dealing with sciatica or something of that nature, I'm going to talk to you about what the root of it, what's really going on in your mind that's creating this, because it's all, everything begins in the mind. Not just our phones was an idea, but our pain, our dis-ease is something that began in the mind, and then our body is trying to let us know, hey, you need to pay attention to yourself. You need to pay attention to what you're thinking. So sciatica is a sign of imbalance. And depending on which side of your body it is where more you can learn more about what the problem is. So I'm going to tell you about that kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you that you probably need to eat more orange stuff, that you might need to do a little grounding work, a little meditation, but you also need to ask yourself some deep questions and get the answers, so that way this problem doesn't continue. So we have those type of experiences. So it is not something I can tell you in a quick conversation or even in 30 minutes. You have to schedule a session and find out more so.
And schedule that session, because it will benefit you. And I think you said a gem that I don't think a lot of people would catch, but you said dis-ease.
Yes.
What's your dis-ease? Because we are so focused on the disease that we forget that the root of that. So I think that is a gem that you dropped that must be amplified. I'd like to scream from the mountaintop.
Yes, because it's us being at dis-ease. Any type of therapy is really mental therapy, because any type of illness is really a mental illness. It's just it's a pattern that's repeating in our mind that we need to rewrite. And it may be a pattern that we picked up from when we were a kid. And so that same story, that same little loop, that same reel, as they call it in these days, is playing in our mind. And it's played so much that now it is happening in a physical manifestation or a physical experience.
100.
So you have a very, very charming accent. I love it. And, I haven't heard it native to Colorado Springs. So where is it from? Mimi the
So I have
Motivator.
never lived in two places before. I mean, I've never lived in one place before. I've always lived in two states my entire life. And then my accent doesn't even come from my family. It comes from my step family, because that's who I was around, and they were from Mississippi. But I spent about 30 years bouncing between Tampa, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee. I was born up north. I've lived in California. I lived in 3 states by the time I was 10 months old.
So why Colorado Springs? Why here?
I did not choose Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs chose me.
Oh, man.
I did not pick to come here. I did not choose to come here. I literally came kicking and screaming. The plane ticket was bought and I did not want to come.
Are you
And
telling my story?
Huh?
Are you
telling your story?
Yeah, I did not choose to be here. This was not my choosing. I thought it was gonna be too cold here. I didn't even want to come for the 2 weeks that I was supposed to be here for a business deal that turned into going on almost 7 years now.
Wow.
I did not choose Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs chose me. This is where the universe sent me. This is where the universe planted me, whether I liked it or not. And this is where I have been growing. This is where I have been blooming.
So how has being a Black-owned business in Colorado Springs been for you?
My business does not come from Colorado Springs. It comes from places that I've never even been. And from places I've lived, but not from here, because Colorado Springs is a very finicky business community. I operate in 3 markets, and this has been the most challenging market. I serve here the most. I volunteer here the most. I spend the most time here. Even when people don't see me, they think I'm not here. No, I'm right here, But this is a particular market, is what I would say.
Copy
People
that.
are kind of thinking and not in a bad way. I'm not going to say that. That's how we've been programmed to do. We've been programmed to follow the hips that move in front of us. And so if you hire this person, then everybody else hires this person. And that's just kind of how it goes. Wherever you go, it's the same people. It's always the same people at the front. Now, that's one thing that I've made in my business, that this year and next year and the years coming, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change who you see at the front of the room, because there are so many talented, compassionate, prepared professionals who are ready to give and who are ready to present, who are ready to train, who are ready to speak, but who are not being called upon. That's why I Get High on Motivation. I make it my business to give people their first platform. Or if they're just trying to make it in the speaking game, I'm your person to come to, because I'll put you on stage where somebody else may not, because they're waiting on someone else to put you on stage. So I'll be the someone else. There's people who have gotten on my stage and Get High on Motivation who had never spoke publicly before, and now they're speaking all kind of places.
And what I get from you is what I think is the word of my decade, and that's pipeline. Like building that pipeline of people, because you have all this talent, and when I see you and I see people around you, I see people light up when they're around you. I see people light up when they talk about you. And what that tells me is that you're the best kind of leader, the leader that builds other leaders. And I applaud you for building that pipeline and pouring into people, because that's the only way we really make a legacy of our life. So again, all those roses to you, sis. So with all the things that you're doing, what are some of the biggest accomplishments that you have and that you're working on?
My biggest accomplishment is surviving living here in Colorado Springs, is what I feel like, because I did not have an easy start. You know, I came out here, the people I was working with never paid me. I ran out of money. I blew through my savings account. I was homeless. After that, everything that I owned got stolen. So I literally had nothing, and somebody had to buy me 7 pair of clothes, and I wore them 7 pair of clothes until I was able to buy something else. That's what people don't know, you know. But I feel like we all have a path to walk at the end of the day, and I'm just walking my path, you know. So wherever that leads me, that's where I go. Very often it's uncomfortable, but what I made a resolution within myself when I was like a go hard Catholic was that I wanted to make an uncomfortable yes like Mary made. And so that uncomfortable yes has led me to a lot of uncomfortable spaces. But with that being said, it allows me to relate to almost anybody. I guarantee there's almost nothing that you have gone through that I have not. The only thing I haven't gone through is childbirth and marriage. But other than that, I have gone through it. I have done it. I done been there. I done done that. I done hit rock bottom. I done been sky high and all the places in between. You know, so I have to say thank you for saying that word pipeline, because I never thought of it like that. The only thing I think of is that my number one job as a leader is to produce more leaders. So I operate from that space, and I don't never know what that's going to look like. I never know where that's going to make me end up. So I am involved in a multitude of organizations, a multitude of committees. You know, you put it out there, I might be involved more than likely some kind of way. You know, so I may not have it like on my social media and all that kind of stuff, but please believe I'm out here just doing the work is what I feel like. I don't care about the fame. I care about the change that can happen and being a part of that, being a catalyst for it, being a platform for it. So I don't even know if that answered your question.
It does.
It's
And
perfect.
I just want to say, because I know you, while you may not have been married on a piece of paper, I know that you have had relationships, and I know that you have raised children. So maybe you have not physically given birth to a child, but you are a mother and you are a relationship guru. So, so still toot your horn when it comes to those aspects of life as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I do want to get on to some of that that give back that you do so much of. How would you say your business contributes to the local community?
Well, my business is what allows me to contribute. So I consider my business a social impact organization. So that's
What is
what
that?
allows me.
What's social impact mean? What is it? What is this concept?
Social impact organization means like I'm not a nonprofit, so I don't have that status for nonprofit to be able to give back, but I still make it my business to give back as a part of my business model. So that's the reason we have a free event. So no matter what it's going to cost me, whether I have a sponsor or not, we're putting this event on because it's my way of giving to the community. And I typically host like free master classes. I typically do free trainings, plus my podcast is my way of being able to give back through my business. So a part of my business, everything I make, there is a portion that's geared towards me being able to provide something to the community one way or the other, whether it's free coaching, because I do a lot of free coaching. So a package that'll cost somebody else $3,500, somebody else out here is getting for free because they'll never be able, I'm not gonna say they'll never be able to afford it. That's wrong. They couldn't afford it at that time. And I never wanted money to be the barrier to somebody's greatness, especially if they're committed to their own greatness. If you're committed to yourself, then I'm gonna be committed as well. But not everybody's committed. Some people are like willy-nilly, you know, they wantrepreneurs. They thinking about it. They
Wantrepreneurs.
You know, they put one foot in, one foot out. No. But the person who's ready to put their whole self in and shake it all about, then I'll help you in any kind of way I can until you get to that space that you desire to be or somewhere close to it. So.
Wow. That's beautiful. So tell me about this podcast. I just
All
posted
right.
a link in the chat there, but tell me, where can people find it?
So Get High on Motivation is on over 20 different platforms out there. So you can find it. You can find it on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora. Just about anywhere you listen to music or a podcast, you can find Get High on Motivation. So just type it in, Get High on Motivation, find it, click it, like it, subscribe to it, add it to the collection, whatever you got to do. There are 30-minute episodes. There are over 200 episodes to choose from, with some new episodes coming. They all hit something different. If you are not ready for a real talk, don't tune in, because I'm going to talk real to you. There might be some cuss words. You never know what might come out of my mouth, but know that I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking from a place of love, and speaking from a space of wanting to see our whole entire community, no matter who you are, what you look like, or where you come from, be a better person.
I wish more people led with love. And I do want to thank you for having me on your show. That was a really, really fun time to be able to chop it up with you. So what I want to know about this Get High on Motivation Live.
Yes.
I think that's like the next big thing coming from you. So, I posted that earlier in the chat. I'm going to post it again, but tell us where we can find it. How much does it cost? Where is it going to be? What we can expect, and what do you need from the community to make this thing a hit?
I'm so glad that you asked.
My pleasure, my sister.
Saturday, September 23rd at First Tee. This event is brought to you by Horace Construction Services and First Tee, along with the Empowerment Foundation. So this event doors open up at 10:30 a.m. on that Saturday. The stage goes live at 11:11. We have 5 phenomenal speakers, 5 phenomenal community leaders, plus myself, to wrap things up. We have a few vendors. The price is, the first 50 tickets are free. We are also welcoming donations. We have VIP tickets. I think the VIP tickets are like $23, but the price will go up as we get closer to the event. But in the VIP area, you'll get hors d'oeuvres, you'll get some drinks, you'll get an opportunity to play with the golf simulators, because we are going to be on the indoor green. So get your polos and your knickers ready. Get your best polo outfit together and come on out. We are in need of a couple of more volunteers. We are definitely in need of more sponsors. In particular, we are looking for a stage sponsor. We have a couple of different opportunities and different sponsorship levels, and we can customize it per organization, whatever that looks like. If you just have something you want to drop in the swag bag, or you have a giveaway, we'll take it, because what our mission is to connect the community with the people, the resources, the organizations that can help them level up. So if you have something that can contribute to that, we welcome you to be in the space and to contribute how you feel that most comfortable.
And how much is the stage sponsorship?
So the stage sponsorship is $1,500. And you will get a chance to actually come on stage yourself and talk about your own business for a couple of minutes. So that's one of the perks, among some other perks, but that is the biggest perk of being the stage sponsor, is you get to come on stage and talk about what you have going on in the community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. And I can't wait. How many years have you done this?
This is our 4th annual event. So it's super exciting to me to still be doing this. Doing it the first time. Our first time we did it literally was on the day the news had dropped the information about the big virus. So like, people were scared to show up. All of our speakers showed up. Some of our vendors, they sent me text messages like, I'm scared, I don't know what this is, but we still had some people show up. We had a phenomenal experience. The next year we were online. We had 70 people attending via Zoom. We had 100+ people watching it via the live stream. We had somebody all the way from Nova Scotia on the line.
Wow.
So last year we did it at Santiago's Boxing Club, and this year we're at First Tee, Southern Colorado, which is a phenomenal nonprofit that teaches the youth how to golf. It's a great organization. If you got kids, please, send them that way. If you are looking for a volunteer experience, they're a great organization to volunteer, and they're always looking for people who look like us to join their board and join their staff. So definitely
shout out to First Tee. Shout out to First Tee. So tell me, Mimi, what goals or visions do you have for the future of your business?
So if I could wave a magic wand
All right, wave
over
it
my
now.
life,
Yes.
and I can, there will be a building that you can come to, that you and your family can come to, because it will be an intergenerational program that will teach that mindset piece on both parts. Because I was the kind of kid that was learning all kind of stuff, trying to tell my parents, like, you know, you don't got to pay taxes, or you don't da, 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 da. And they weren't listening. They were like, bless your little smart nerd self, you know. And then I had my godson on the other side, where my best friend is learning all this stuff, but she's not teaching my godson. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you going to wait for him to turn 30 something for him to figure life out? So I started sending him a book a month to read, books that would shift his mindset and give him the wealth mindset. So I want to be able to teach families the wealth mindset, and then we'll go from there.
So what's the wealth mindset?
The wealth
in a
mindset,
nutshell.
in a nutshell, is one, believing in yourself and having the confidence, not trying to be perfect. Perfectionism is the poison of the poor. That's what keeps us in poverty, because we're trying to get it right. Those who are wealthy, they don't even know what they're doing, and they go out there very confidently and act like they know what they're doing, and people pay them for it, and they don't even know what they're doing. So that's number one. The second thing is being mindful of your money, understanding what is an asset versus a liability. Your house is more than likely a liability and not an asset, unless you got a room that you rent out to somebody, you know, on a monthly basis. Teaching them those kind of things, teaching them health, because wealth, I believe there's 4 pillars of wealth. One is your financial health. That's easy. But your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health all be strong in order for you to truly build sustaining wealth. Because wealth is not just having some money in the bank. We know how to make money. We've been making money. But we don't know how to spend our money. We don't know how to make our money make money. We don't know how to save our money properly. I got a whole degree in mathematics. I went to graduate school, and nowhere along the way did anybody teach me any of these things. So basically, it'll be teaching you everything that the school is not teaching you, and that your parents didn't teach you, because either one, they didn't know, or two, they didn't think to teach you. You know, even learning how to grocery shop properly, how to prepare your food, how to grow your food. Just all the things that you didn't know that you needed to know.
That's right. Because I think the world is not, at least American education system is not designed to build up entrepreneurs. It's designed to build up employees. And you can be an employee with an entrepreneur mindset. And and that will bode you far more success. Because you know, entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but everybody should have an entrepreneurial mindset. And I'm waving my magic wands so that community center can happen for you. Because I want to be right there at the ribbon cutting, the black
ribbon cutting.
boom.
Yes, let's visualize it. I received that. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those from the Black community?
Number one, stop trying to convince other people to believe in you and to believe in the business idea or the vision. Believe in yourself. When you start believing in yourself, then other people will get in line. So spend that time convincing yourself that you are enough, first and foremost. Secondly, that you are worthy and that you have everything you need or want. And if you don't, it'll show up eventually. So to just believe, that's really believe in yourself, believe in the powers beyond yourself, because you don't have to do it all yourself. It's when you do try to rely just on me that you're not going to last very long. But when you allow what you don't know to show up, or the people you don't know to show up, and stop trying to make the people you do know to fall in line, you'll do a lot better. So leave your family and your boo and your friends alone, and let the strangers show up and support your vision, because they will.
That is inspiring, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of stuff you get from Mimi the Motivator, man. Don't sit on it. She's got the gold, and Kimberly's got the gold. There's so much gold. So much gold.
It's golden.
So much gold. So you have made a decision recently to become a member of the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce. Why'd you do that?
First and foremost, to support us, to hopefully add more value to what's going on, because I didn't become a member for the benefits. I came to be an asset, and we just got to figure out what that looks like, because I as you know, like you said, I got the giving spirit, and I need to know how I can give to this organization, because this organization needs us as much as we need it.
Yeah.
You know, that's incredible that you say that, because when I first joined the chamber, I also was like, I'm joining the chamber because I want to give back to us, to our community, to our economic vitality. And little did I realize over the next year, I was going to get poured into way more than my little membership fee. And I'm thankful that, you know, I think that does happen when you operate with a giving spirit. It just always comes back to you just tenfold, 100-fold. And we're going to make sure that we're pouring into you as the Black Chamber 100-fold too.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So there's another organization you're with. You got some of your people on the line on this stream right now. 1 Million Cups. So tell me about 1 Million Cups and your involvement in that organization, and why others should follow your leadership.
So 1 Million Cups is a nonprofit or organization that exists nationwide, that's brought to you by the Kauffman Foundation. What their goal is to have 1 million people with a cup of coffee in their hand supporting entrepreneurs. So we meet every Wednesday at 9 a.m. at Exponential Impact. And there's the opportunity to see, support, or even present to the community if you are an entrepreneur. You get 6 minutes to share who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And then we get 20 minutes to ask you questions and to possibly pour into you and poke your brain and make you think about things that you hadn't thought about. I call it an entrepreneur support group. That's what I think of it is. But everybody there is not an entrepreneur. There are community organizations there. There are financial institutions that are involved there. And it's just literally a community and a safe space for you to come grow as an entrepreneur. If you're not an entrepreneur, for you to contribute to people who are on the entrepreneurial path. Because like Kim said, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. So right. There I am, an organizer. And so my job is to make sure that I'm there, make sure that things are set up. There's the group of us. We don't get paid besides what we get to feel on the inside of our heart when we see the experience that transpires. So we set up all the chairs and tables that people see. And then when everybody is gone, we put all that stuff away. We have to find coffee sponsors. We have to do quite a bit, but it is very fulfilling is what I'd say. It's an organization that I have been a part of for over 10 years. I used to be a part of the 1 Million Cups family in St. Petersburg, Florida. And as soon as I found out there was an organization here that was meeting, I was like, I'm there. So please join us Wednesday, 9 a.m. at 1 Million Cups.
It's a phenomenal group. I have been several times over the last 12 to 18 months, and you can feel the support in the room. It is where you go to be very open about the things that you need, the mistakes you're making, and how to grow. And there are people, so many people like you who are so giving of your advice, your wisdom, your insight. So yes, your writing coach Lynette is like,
yes,
come on, Kim. So I definitely want to make that ask of the community, especially like part of my responsibility as an organizer is I like to connect with nonprofits and get nonprofits the opportunity to come present to us, because typically the space is for entrepreneurs who are in their maybe like first 5 years of business, but we also have the space for nonprofits for them to come in, whether you're the executive director or some type of representative of that nonprofit. You come in and let us know how the community can support your organization, because that's what we're all about, is support.
So I've had the honor to speak at 1 Million Cups years back, and one of the coolest questions you ask before we wrap up the whole session, and I've never really heard it asked in all the other networking organizations and spaces I've been in. Nobody else asked this question. That's why I like 1 Million Cups so much, one of the many reasons. And I'm going to ask you, Mimi, this question. You know what it is. How can the community help you be more successful?
Tell people about your experience that you've had with Mimi the Motivator. If you work for a company, tell them we need to get Mimi the Motivator in here to help us create a better culture, because I make it my business to create a culture of happy, healthy, high-performing leaders. So if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking to be that person, then you reach out to Mimi the Motivator. There's no way that you can't find me. I'm everywhere.
Right on. And can you give me some ways for people to find you?
Yes, find me on Instagram. That's my favorite hangout. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Definitely go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's where you can get the most bang for your buck. I am also on TikTok, but definitely find my show, Get High on Motivation, and share that with people. If you listen to an episode and it really resonates with you, share it with somebody. If there's a topic that you're like, oh, I know somebody who needs to hear this, share it. Digital currency to me is the most valuable currency. And that's just you hitting the like on something, hitting the subscribe button, sharing it, sharing the Get High on Motivation live event on your social media pages. That right there to me is gold. So I appreciate you in advance.
Oh, you're very, very welcome, my sister. And I really want to thank you for joining us this evening and letting the world get a little bit more love from the world's greatest motivator, the motivator's motivator, Mimi the Motivator. Thank you so much for being here today, my sister. Thank you, Kimberly Gold, board member of the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce, for tuning into the show, being part of the hosting. Thank you, everybody who came on the stream and participated. I appreciate all y'all. Hashtag 1 million cups. Hashtag Mimi the Motivator. Hashtag COS Black Chamber. There's so many. Thank you so much.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Hey, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday. And I know you be celebrating the whole month. So
I do.
You know,
I do celebrate the whole month. So I'm still going.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in this evening for this wonderful talk with National Black Business Month. Now, we got one more week in August, right? And I don't want National Black Business Month, all this energy you all have, this hashtag Buy Black energy you all have, it does not need to stop September 1st. Keep it going. There's a book by Carter G. Woodson called Miseducation of the Negro. I recommend you get it. One of the things he says in his book, some of us are chasing down reparations. Some of us are chasing down grants and for other people from the outside to give us money to boost us up. Carter G. Woodson says, if we just trust each other, okay, if we spend our money in our communities, keep that money inside, we can take care of all the wealth problems, every single one of them. So I want to leave that seed in your mind. This is one of the things the Black Chamber is out here trying to push us to do, and we can do it. We're not victims. You don't need to be empowered. You already have the power. Ain't that right, Mimi? We already got the power, right?
Right.
So just take a moment when you get stressed. Yeah, you got the power. So just breathe. Okay. If you need somebody to help you breathe, don't use your Apple Watch. Call Mimi the Motivator. Set up an appointment. Schedule that. Tell your organizations about her and get her involved. And if you have not nominated somebody for the Mayor's Young Leaders Awards, the expiration for that is September 1st. So you still have a little over a week to put somebody in there. And if we don't nominate each other, we don't win. So nominate each other for this. ColoradoSprings.gov, you'll find the information. Mayor's Young Leaders Awards. You'll see it on our social media for the Black Chamber. It's everywhere. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And you have yourself a wonderful time. Get your tickets to the Get High on Motivation Live. Get your tickets. $1,500 for the stage sponsor. $23 for the VIP. First 50 people, you get in free. And it's going to be dope. I promise you that. Till next time, my friends. Y'all be easy.